we would brief thoroughly and we would talk about how we were going to mitigate those threats. And when those threats were called out, it was like they disappeared because we knew that they were there and they just fizzled away. We were ready for them.
Most pilots don't understand what career opportunities are available in the world of aviation. They're making career decisions based on advice from friends or posts on internet forums, meaning they are taking huge risks with their livelihood without having all the details. This podcast was created to help you understand the aviation industry so you can find your dream job. Let's get ready for Pushback. Here's your host and my dad, Nick Fialka.
Hey, pilot, welcome to Ready for Pushback. I'm Nick Fialka. I'm so glad you are here with me today. It's another solo show. I'm so stoked you're here. I've been flying. I have had some good flying recently. Today was a spicy day. I dropped the kids. Actually, no, I picked up the kids. I was driving to pick up the kids from swim team practice. And my phone rings, and it's the company offering me some an extra flight. It's going to be double pay, but we need you there as soon as you possibly can. So I accepted it, and it was a turn to Orlando, and it was great. It was Atlanta, Orlando, and I thought to myself, shoot, man, that's like 10 hours of pay for 2-3 hours of work. And that to me is a huge score. So Anna and I have this understanding that if some extra flying comes my way and they're offering me double pay, that I don't have to ask her. I can just take it and she'll flex for it and we'll make it happen as a team, which is totally awesome. And it kind of backfired a little bit. But so I went and I accepted it and I grabbed the kids from the pool, hurried home. I had just gotten back from a trip. So my pants were in the dryer. They were washing. So they were still wet. Pants were in the dryer. I had to build a shirt up real quick, jumped out the door, totally forgot to put on a belt like a doofus. Felt like an idiot, military guys, like nothing, no more anxiety in the whole world than showing up without a piece of your uniform. And so I went on this trip. Then Anna remembered she had a doctor's appointment and it was stressful and we were trying to figure out how we're going to do it because you can't get a last minute babysitter and all this stuff. But really, it's not the whole point of today's story. The whole point of today's story is that I went and jumped in the plane and I got on a plane that was full of 200 and some odd people that were angry and upset and ready to just explode because their pilot was late. And I was actually not late because I hustled my way down to the airport. But in their perspective, I was 2 hours late because they had already been delayed. And that's awful. And I hate that. And so I made an announcement to them. I apologized for my tardiness and kind of told my little story about being at the swim team. And I just asked them to give us a little bit of grace. And that seemed to work. And then we went on this flight down to Orlando. And man, it was a varsity stinking day, guys. It was lots of crosswind. It was wind shear. It was thunderstorms. I mean, we descended to 10,000 feet and flew down the Florida coast just trying to get around stuff. It was insanity. But I felt so confident doing it because I knew that my FO and we were a well-oiled machine. And even though we had never met each other before, we worked super well because we followed the standard procedures. Because we were so standardized, we were very thorough in our briefs. We did not hurry in the things that we were doing, and we took our time. And when we were done with each thing, hey, what do you think? We've got weather on the left and weather on the right. We try to split it down the middle. Should we go below it? Should we try to go over it? And we briefed thoroughly and we briefed clearly and we worked together each step of the way, just crushing CRM. And that's what you have to do and you have to learn. And this, we are both 20 plus year experienced pilots, and that's a cool thing. And as you are learning through the crew resource management structure, engaging in other people and understanding communication and situational awareness and leadership and all of the different tenets that are in crew resource management and all of the different tenets that are part of threat and error management, each threat we would brief thoroughly, and we would talk about how we were going to mitigate those threats. And when those threats were called out, it was like they disappeared because we knew that they were there and they just fizzled away because we were ready for them. And I want you to learn how to be ready for those threats. And I want you to learn how to be on top of your game. I want you to be able to fly with a person that you don't particularly like, that's kind of a jerk, that might be kind of the worst person you ever met. And I want you to be able to have a successful flight with that person and operate as a team and be a leader and be strong and find your way through and find your humility and find a way to be successful in the face of adversity, because that is what those 230 some odd people on that flight were paying for. They were paying for the peace of mind that those two pilots up front were professional and capable. And so if you are in the hunt right now, I want you to think about your professionalism and your capability. I want you to go and listen to briefs on crew resource management. Go to YouTube, type in crew resource management. Look at the top 3 things that have the most views. Don't watch somebody that's under the age of 30. Like, watch somebody that looks like an old professor. That's who you want to listen to. Listen to some military stuff about crew resource management. I wonder if there's helicopter stuff about that. You want to talk about damn good CRM? Those helicopter guys and gals, they know how to do it because they're always things are always popping up that are going to kill them, and they've got to get it sorted out. So go and expand your brain a little bit. Go learn about crew resource management. It's such a fantastic thing. So I fought this entire fight down to Orlando, and then I fought an even bigger fight, 2.5 hour delay and just hellacious, crappy weather, rain, wind shear, turbulence, just nothing fun on a day where I was going to get double pay. It was supposed to be super easy. I think about those times when I don't particularly want to be flying with somebody. Maybe we don't click just perfectly. Who knew Uncle Nick doesn't click with every other person. But when I'm going through that, I really challenge myself to find the ways that I can engage and be professional and really make the trip better because of that. And if you do that, you'll be successful and it will be apparent to you. And if you're not good at it right now, work on it. Be deliberate about it. Understand why crew resource management is important. Why it's one of the biggest advances in safety in the past 100 years. And so I challenge you to sharpen your CRM skills and to make yourself better. Even if you worked at the CRM school with me, I don't care. Make yourself better. I'm going to go right now into YouTube and go down the rabbit hole and learn more about crew resource management. I think you should too. I think it's valuable. So it was a crazy day. I got home at 7 p.m., up to her neck in kids, and everybody was tired, and it'd been a long day. And, so I just loved on my family for a little bit, sent them off to bed, came up here to record this episode to talk about it. I appreciate you guys listening. I hope you thought it was a great show. And guess what? I will see you on Monday. All right, pilots, that's the episode. I hope you've really enjoyed it. But before you go, do me a quick favor, subscribe to my show and leave me a review. Give me a 1-star review if it was totally worthless. Give me a 5-star review if it was the most amazing thing you've ever heard. I want to hear from you. So if you can give me a review, subscribe to the podcast, make yourself a little bit better, I will be happy. You'll be happy. We'll keep crushing. I cannot wait to see you on the next episode.